line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up. Finger to the sky and a green light shining bright. The only thing I have in mind is the finish line. Check the radio, pit crew is far.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, live here on the Spotlight and on the show, we are presenting to you live the Global Team Strategy GOAT Racing League Next Gen Cup Series, live back here on the show here on PTM Racing TV. Hello, good everyone. I am the Crusader Christian Schreier, joining you guys here today, getting ready for the action at hand, getting ready for all the battles ahead. This is your cutoff race for the round of 12. Only 4 will be cut, but 8 will remain to make it to the final 4. But those 4 that get cut, their championship hopes are all but lost. Which one of these drivers will lose that out? We're about to find out here in just a few short minutes, though. But race fans, let's take a look at our gridding order for tonight's action. On the pole, we pilot him up with Michael the Striker Strickland to the outside of him. And then number 19, it will be Tyler Dalton. In row number 2, it's going to be Dakota Ehrman in the number 78 outside of them. And Cameron DeRue in the 18. Row number 3 is Jeff Ramsdale in the 7 outside of them. And then number 24, it's Cody Sturgill. Row number 4 is Ricky Edding in the 2A outside of him. And the 93, that will be Bud Shearer. Row number 5 is Aaron Action Jackson in the 12 to the outside of him. In the Dudleyville camp, it's Robert Dudley in the 49. Row number 6, Dakota Kramer in the 42 to the outside of them. From Australia, it's Michael Caffrey. Row number 7, we'll pilot it down with Joseph Garvala in the 47 to the outside of them. In the 76, it's Mark Rodigan. Row number 8 is going to be Keith Prince in the 3 to the outside of them. In the 98 is Krista Hall. Row number 9 is the 83 of Brandon Burkhardt, the outside of them. In the 26, it's Ron Holyfield. Row number 10 is going to be Ryan D. Cook in the 10 outside of them. And that 5 is Nathan Bogart. Row number 11, that will be piloted down by John Hickman Jr. in the 60, the outside of them. In the 89, Russell Ottaway. In row number 12, it'll be Maurice Burnett in the 80, outside of him. In the 95, it's Sean Burke. row number 13 will be Kevin England. In the number 39, the outside of them. And the 35, it's Chad Coleman. In row number 14, Charles Van Schaik will pilot the 23 in the outside of them. And the 29, Philip Schmidt. And last but not least, in shotgun of the field, the 36 is Richard Crane. Global Team Strategy Racing about to bring the Next Gen Cup Series to life once again. Stage 1 consists at lap 30. The second stage will go to lap 70, and then our final stage, 65 to the distance. 135 laps to be completed. Pace them off at turn number 4. Pace car comes around inside. It is time to go racing here on P10 Racing TV. To the green flag, we wave them. Here we go. Go Racing League, round of 12, cutoff race. Strong start by the field of drivers, but you're going to go up high side right out of the gate, looking to try to use the optimal line of the Almstead Miami Speedway, looking to use the outside line to help conserve the tire wear and burn. The striker, Michael Strickland, though, already he has laid down the speed. And he's making every single driver realize he's not going to let up that easily. A little slow down the back of the back, though. Wide off, here they go, right into the middle of the pack there. That looks like that is the number 89 of Russell Ottaway. The 95 of Sean Burke stuck on the top side of the RBS machine, while the 47 of Joseph Gravala is getting trapped again. 3 wide off of turn number 4. Cleared the gauge, cleared the show. Joseph Gravala has now joined us. He says, okay, Gravala, let's go. El Paso is watching. Go Army. Joe Gravala, it's great to hear from you once again, sir. Giles Van Schaik in the 23 PetSmart machine already having some problems. Needs to get the DoorDash thing kicked up a little bit. Maybe build some speed up because he's way behind the pace. Cody Sturgill in the Iron Man machine looking to become an Iron Man here and already moved the chains through the field. He's gone 3 wide there with Dudleyville and Shearer. We ran into Dudleyville plenty of times in this show before, so we know how he works, and he's already showing you what he likes to do. Force the will in hand and make things aggressive. 3 wide off, cleared the 24. Shearer, though, is going to get further ahead. Dalton Ramsdale right now, both drivers trying to keep it cool, keep an even pace here with Strickland, maybe looking to stick off his draft here. Again, they only have to go to lap 30, so you're not going to see a lot of movement from them. Maybe a little bit more closely regarded, to be a little bit more careful, I would say. But as we get later into this race, I think we may see some fireworks start to brew and start to really kind of dictate up on these guys. You don't go the whole way without some little mishaps or little mistakes kind of mixed in there. On board here with the 42, Dakota Kramer right now, as he currently is parking it right behind these guys and trying to see what he can do and bring to the table. The 77 of Michael Caffrey from all the way from Australia. The land down under currently is on the land down under. He runs the bottom lane here, trying to keep the Pennzoil fight on the 76 of Mark Rodigan. Rodigan, though, moving the chains. No questions asked there from his end of the bargain. And the target 98 of Christoph Hall. Well, you got to say there's a target on his back. He moves up top and seems to be liking what he does there. Again, you got multiple lanes here, multiple drives to work, and multiple drives to survive. I predict you see a lot more drivers making the move to the outside and then making the move to the bottom when they can. Some guys may take it a little bit more aggressively too as they go along and actually start to push more of the agenda to the middle ground more than the high ground in order to kind of stay out of trouble and also at the same time still be able to shorten track out The bottom lane, obviously, you can shorten the track out the most there, but carrying your speed and then not having to worry about tire burn is a different story. Very crucial and very difficult on the tires there. If you get a little too hard or a little too aggressive, the right rear likes to kick out enough to where it'll burn them off. That in turn causes a much bigger distraction and issue at hand that I think everybody is well aware of. They're trying to keep a close eye on. We got to keep a close eye on right now. Look out up ahead. We've got a battle for the lead, and the striker has been struck down. Tyler Dalton will be your new leader as the Sim 500 brings the 19 into the top spot. And Dalton, no slouch either in this one. He qualified second out of the field and taking the lead early from Strickland. Maybe looking to try to keep claim and trying to keep on the pace. Field in a dire strait though, trying to stay in control, trying to stay on the mode. Forward to Dakota Kramer right now, trying to look for a move on the inside or the middle, wherever he can. But meanwhile, up on top side, Brandon Burkhart, the fast lane 83, looks like he might have a slight issue with the steering, or might have a right front tire going down. Looks like he could be having some issues coming off the corners. Seems like he might have it okay, so I don't know if maybe that was just my eyes deceiving me or what that was going on there, but car is okay. The packs right now too, one thing I'm noticing too, they're not separating out as much as I thought they would out of the gate. This is a very sizable field. Again, 29 drivers making the call, and everybody in the top 15 upwards pretty much been kind of closer together than I thought many of them were going to be. It kind of shows the level of talent these guys can bring to the table, obviously, but at the same time, it's like you get so used to seeing these guys spreading out so much, you don't really get a whole feel or idea of what you're going to experience until really you start getting into the race itself. And so far, very interesting strategies, but very interesting to see just how close everybody is still. Jeff Ramsdale, Ricky Edding right now, currently the ones on the top 10 bracket. Ramsdale, Exalta, number 7 Pepsi Cola machine, looking to rip it around and maybe speed up the gown. Got a target on the line there on Christoph Hall in the 98. Didn't quite get a run on him though. Moving down the inside. Here comes the number 26. That's Ron Holyfield. Harley Dudley saying, go, go, Dudleyville. Oh, go, go, Dudleyville. Harley, thanks for coming on board. Haven't seen you in a while. Great to have you back. Still kind of hard to kind of mix and match between the tracks right now because you got so much action going on in the top 15, top 10 right now. Trying to see what's going on in the back here with the other drivers, and Russell Ottaway in the 89 seems to be kind of one of them dealing with Kevin England. Him and the rest of the field kind of separated out by a little bit of a margin or two as there's trouble up ahead. That's why we try not to go jumping around too much. Dakota Kramer, Dakota Ehrman, looks like involved. Looks like maybe just Dakota Kramer, the main one involved of it though. Rodigan also seems to have some mechanical problems. Well, let's take a look at the PT Mr. Replay and see what happened. I was trying to avoid going too far back so we can make sure we keep an eye on the action because you never know what happens, unfortunately. Came off turn number 2. Looks like Rodigan actually got loose. Came right into Kramer. Kramer slams the brakes, trying to get away from damaging the car any more than it does. Thankfully for them, these cars can take a bit of punishment, but they are. I'm not gonna lie to anybody. They are a bit of a troublesome little thing or two. I can tell you that much. We'll take one more look at it here from our blimp cam here. Sorry for technical difficulty screen, but we had a little bit of problem there. iRacing wasn't wanting to work with us very much. Here's Rodigan again. You see, comes up. There's Kramer, backs off. 5 doesn't get into him. And there's the hit. Rodigan had nowhere to go. Thankfully, everybody else able to avoid. Good driving on everyone else in that initial contact and avoiding the issues there. Sadly, though, for the 42 camp, he's going to pit road. With a bit of a lesser wear for those cars and those damages on the machine. Field currently going to be under the caution flag for the moment. Not what they were expecting or not what they were hoping for, I bet you, but it will branch us up again and make for maybe a very exciting finish here in stage number 1. Again, we got 3 stages to the party today. Stage 1 here on lap number 30. Stage 2 at lap 70, and then finally the 65 laps on stage 3. Like many of you at home, you're probably wondering, okay, if this is the last race in the round of 12, who's in, who's out? Well, let me give you an idea of what's going on there. So right now, in terms of scope, Michael Strickland, plus 29 points in the highest brigade. Joseph Gravales, plus 23. Aaron Action Jackson, plus 14. I'm comfortable saying those 3 are more than likely safe to make it into the next round. Charles Van Schaik could be in a little bit of trouble if he's not careful. He's only plus 9 right now. Cody Sturgill, definitely on that bottom line of the cuts with only plus 2. Bud Shearer with plus 2. And Brandon Burkhardt with only plus 1 as well. So those guys I just named off better watch it tonight, and they better keep a close eye on who's ahead of them and who's where. Cameron Dew tied, though, as Nathan Bogart is just below him on the cutoff line with the same amount of points. Christoph Hall at 10th position with minus 14. John Hammond with minus 16. Sean Burke minus 17. So for those 4 I just named out, Bogart, Hall, Hammond, Burke, it's pretty much a must win tonight. They're going to need all the help they can get in order to make it through this one here, as we're going to work them way down on the track here off of turn number 4. This time on by Tyler Dalton. Leads the field in. And it's time to bring it back to the green. Green flag back out here at Homestead for round of 12. Strong start for Dalton. Dudleyville, though, making a great little fight off there. 7 spots up. Makes his move on Cameron Dew as they work their way right off of turn number 2. Cameron Dew, by the way, driving the scheme that was the very last M&M's Mars paint scheme we will ever see in NASCAR, to our knowledge, and that Kyle Busch would have ever drove. Kind of hard to believe, and actually very sad in some ways, because I remember I was actually, when I grew up watching racing, that was one of the first paint schemes I ever even saw. So it is sad to see the M&M scheme go away, but as the landscape of sponsors change, the landscape of racing changes, I guess everything else kind of changes with it. Sometimes I wish it didn't change like that, but that's just the name of the game sometimes. Philip Schmitz with problems down there. He's currently trying to figure out what's going on, if he's going to be able to get back at it. He's trying to rate fire the cars. He's currently in trouble here. Battle up ahead right over in the field. Michael Caffrey in the 77 going at it with Bud Shearer and Ron Holyfield in the 26. All guys right now in a very critical drive here, as you see that smoke that Smith left behind. I think he's going to have to kind of settle for being a lap down. He is. He's going to be put a lap down as he goes to pit road. Battle for the lead, though. Strickland trying to strike while the iron's hot. Dalton right up ahead of him while Cameron DeRue is looking on as well. We go on board, or no, we don't, not yet. For Cameron DeRue, caution is out on the track, and I think I might have an idea of who that's for. The number 93 of Bud Shearer comes to a stop, deadlocked off turn 1. Problems for the 93. And the old Maple Leaf, unfortunately, got taken for a bit of a ride here. Looks like coming off of turn number 4, entering into turn 1. Here's another look at the replay. Came off down on turn 4, drives in pretty well here. Looks good. And then this. And there is good news to it. He didn't get into a full-on collision. Only a minor little love tap. Thankfully, it was just a minor little spin, but I can guarantee you that he is probably not too happy about that little hit, though. See if we can take a look at it from our pit lane cam here. Or, excuse me, not our pit lane, the flagman cam. Nope, just missed it as they're going by. The flagman definitely had a few angles to see there, and so did our cameras, but nevertheless, Shearer will be thrown back into the pack a little bit here. The field's going to have to work their way back around. Also, yes, do not deceive yourselves, folks. There are 2 5 cars you see out on the track. I'm trying to get a number on that one, see who that one belongs to. I can tell you Nathan Bogart has this one, the National Guard 5. That is the one we usually commonly assert it to. And looks like it might be Dakota Ehrman that is driving the HendrickCars.com number 5. So actually supposed to be in the number 78. So for clarification, if you see that, just know I will probably be referring to Ehrman rather than saying just the 5. So, but you never know. I've had a habit of making a hiccup or two on some of these names or some of these calls, so wouldn't be the first one. It would not be my last. Field gonna stay under the yellow flag for the moment here. Currently we are cleaning up some messes down there, and I believe also getting ready for a final 5-lap shootout here for that stage. And lights are gonna flicker off now, so if I'm Tyler Dahl right now, my first thought is simple. Don't let them catch me. Stay focused on the drive, stay focused on the emphasis on what you're going for, as well as make sure you know what you're after, which is the stage points. Now, granted, he has nothing to gain here by doing this. He's not in the playoffs. He's not in the overall position. He's just out here racing. That, in my opinion, could be a very tall tale there for some drivers, because I think a lot of them are still focusing in on that championship while at the same time worried about it. Coming out the start, back to the green we go. Flying them down to the corners here out of the gate. Everybody looking strong as they can be, looking for the positions and looking for key movements here. Striker right now is trying to get him too. Collapsing around the track up the outside, banking the number 24 Cody Sturgill, currently looking in a little bit as the 98 of Christoph Hall seems to be more intrigued by what he can figure out here late in the run. Again though, he needs to really figure out how to get the max amount of points and max amount of positions here, because he needs all the points he can get. A top 10 is certainly helping him a long way there. They're going to bolster him up, almost 3 wide out. Charles Van Schaik right now trying to stay in control of his own destiny as well. He is managing himself well. Cody Sturgill, though, hold on down there. Into the wall he goes. He's able to keep it straight, but not without losing a lot of positions. But better that than wrecking himself out, costing him a chance here. Christoph Hall able to gain a position or two off that. Charles Van Schaik, though, the biggest recipient. He got up, now in 19 spots up. He's second with a hard charger award because Chad Coleman's got him beat by about 2. He's 21 up. Schaik doesn't need to win this race. He just needs a good finishing position or get some points in there. And I think he'll be A-okay as the caution and Bruce, stage number 1 completed. And your first stage winner of the day is going to go to Tyler Dalton, the number 19 Sim 500 driver. Is going to bring his esports crew into another hot spot and a good start to his day. But again, will he be able to continue that momentum and continue that on? That will be his own fate. But a good start, nevertheless. Some guys almost seem like intertwined and inclined right out of the gate just to kind of stay out of trouble, stay in a focused position, now realizing they've got a lot more on their hands than they realize. Field is in pit road now. We'll have to see who gets out first and who gets out the shortest here. Dakota Ehrman, though, is going to stay out on the track. Going to keep an eye out on these guys right up here. And Dalton will beat out Strickland out of pit road. Cameron Deere will get the third spot. Jeff Ramsdale will beat out Michael Caffrey, and that will pretty much round out the top 5 out of pit road here. So, very interesting strategies being played out for these drivers, and a lot of focus and determination threw it in there. We are currently going to get separated out. They're going to bring it back in. Remember, now we're going to lap number 70 for our next stage. And stage 1 was a bit hectic, if I'm going to say so myself. Really, we didn't see a lot of carnage, which is a good thing, but we did see a lot of drivers kind of bearing and tearing a little bit more than I think they were expecting. I expect some of these guys are going to really be paying close attention now to pit road and the fuel and the mileage they're going to get out of these cars, because honestly right now that seems to be the case. As a lot of guys head back into pit road, we're about to go green again. Dakota Ehrman stayed out. He's going to be our new leader. I'm not sure if Ehrman's really exactly thinking the logical sense here or what he's going to do, but he's got burnt tires and a fuel mileage in there. I don't know how well that's going to work for him. Again, it's all speculation, but he went into pit road on lap 24. He's got 8 laps worth of wear tires. I mean, I'm not going to try to knock the guy down or anything, but 8 laps at Homestead is a lot in terms of fuel and tire, because the problem is here, you're driving on a big banked oval that just has a fond fetish with the tearing and destroying up tires thanks to that Miami heat. Hence the little term we used in our little promo photo earlier today. While also giving these guys a lot of room to really be trying to make mistakes or trying to secure or survive from. Time to find out who learned and who listened. Here we go, back to the green. Ehrman will take the lead over. Well, apparently Ehrman wants to make a monkey out of me already. He gets a good jump out of the gate. He's got a good sizable spot up ahead of these guys. Positioning is key here as you see the drivers moving in through the change. Robert Dudleyville. Dudley is already staying up ahead of the guys behind and the guys in front of him. Aaron Action Jackson, though, in the number 12, trying to defend off Eddie Dunn that dares trying to come into his way. He's not in a win situation. He's not really in a I need to finish really good situation. He just needs to stay out of trouble situation. But as always, as a driver, that's the last thing you think about. Anytime you get on that track, whether it's a playoff race or if it's a normal race, the only thing you think about is staying up with the front. Passing with these cars too is not an easy task either, so really the challenge is always going to be trying to make the right moves at the right time. And I'm not saying that it's hard to pass because it's dirty air or anything like that. It's because these cars just don't have a lot of room for error in terms of scope and speed. Yeah, they do have dirty air to worry about, but for the most part, you can usually work that out pretty quickly. Dudleyville, you can see right there using a lot of that as he just completely dished the speeds back up. Nearly got taken out on the backstretch, and then he takes 2 for the price of 1. I guess he set off with Jackson and Hall's speeds here. Like a medieval knight, just really dethroned them. He moves the chains in. The number 5 right now, Nathan Bogart, going to try to work his way around with the number 26 to draw off Holyfield. Holyfield, he's getting all the work there from Dudleyville. Holyfield and Dudleyville. I don't know think I've ever heard about a team like that. 3 wide off the front stretch. Holyfield backs out of it, doesn't want anything to do with them there. Best lap times on your screen right now, just to give you guys an idea of like what we're seeing on their end. And the speeds are definitely at a good fever pitch right now. You're seeing a lot of drivers kind of focusing on consistency above all else, and that seems to be the thing that's helping them. However, when you look at the times here, you can actually see that the fastest driver is the one kind of in that mid of the top 5, which that would be Michael the Striker Strickland. He's got a 33.30 as his fastest time, and I think that really was due to help a large part of the drafting he got on some of these guys in the corner. And I think honestly I gotta know an apology to Cody Ehrman. I thought 8 laps of tire burn would actually hurt him more than anything. I take it back. He's got 0.8 of a second on Tyler Dalton right now. He's made a monkey out of me, and he has made a whole laundry list of things probably to come at me for later if he gets into that top 3. Impressive though, nevertheless. Very good stuff on his end and very good driving. Back on the gap and back on the pressure. We're on board with Nathan Bogart. Bogart really making some good headways here, making some great positioning, and again, he kind of has to. He's on the podium. He's on the bubble right now. If he can somehow get around Cameron DeRue and put him back a few positions, he's got a chance here to win. He's got a chance to make it in the final round of 8, in the final rounds of 8. Remember, we got the round of 8, then the round of 4 to determine our championship drivers. Big move off on the 5. And a big, massive front coming from him, man. He takes full control of it. Company right behind, though, in terms of Christoph Hall and Cameron Dew falling further back to Dudleyville's camp. At this point, I think I've said his name so much. I think I might have to be a little bit more careful about that. I think I've talked too much of him. If I keep talking, maybe I give him the broadcast first. That's the last thing he's probably wanted to hear. But we'll move it back to the change right now. Joseph Gravalla right now in the number 47 Autolite machine. The scheme he's been rocketing and bringing this entire season really on the track. Has been pretty much hitting it well and doing a great job staying in control of his own destiny. The Striker Strickland right now falling further back, surprisingly, than I think we were expecting. I think he may be just saving up some equipment, but even then, saving not much up, you still have a long way to travel through. And just this something I'm just noticing too, like there's just so many passes going on from the field inside and out. Like these guys, they're either hammering or they're flying, and I'm not sure what kind of video game move that is, Rodigan, but I don't think you're going to pull a Hail Melon on these guys that easily. That thing was flooring to the dirt and flooring into the ground, and he went right up the wall, bunched it, bumped it, and said, well, that didn't work, oh well. But he almost did. He almost got around Jeff Ramsdell there off that corner. I'm surprised the 76 he would drive it as hard as he did. Definitely a wild move to be had. A bit of a little shootout spot. Not so sure it was going to work in hindsight, but hey, he went for it, so give him credit where credit's due. On board here with Maurice Burnett right now, currently dealing with Holyfield, and Keith Brent's right behind him in the number 3. Brent's here trying to see if maybe they can find a run on the outside now as they continue to move the chains. They start 15th. They're looking to try to get back up ahead of that. The 10 of Ryan D. Cook. Also a guy that really haven't talked a lot about today, but you know, the thing is, we have seen him plenty of times here make a great effort in terms of scoping it to the podium, to the top 5 and top 10s. And they said to me earlier, as long as I keep racking those up, I think next season I should be A-okay. Take a look at our last lap times here. This is the times we've seen just by these drivers a minute ago. 34.47 and then 34.07. Dudley, you know, is absolutely tearing up some tire while at the same time running down a lone Hendrick car. The HendrickCars.com, number 5 of Dakota Ehrman, not the other 5 to be mistaken with Nathan Bogart. Currently making a great use of effort and great use of run, but he's got company coming up from behind. Here we go now, battle for the lead, and Ehrman, I gotta give you credit for credit's due to your strategy, sir, but I don't think it's gonna last you this long. Off of turn number 4, we've got a new leader. Robert Dudley takes the lead. How long has it been since we have said that 49 Mercury machine has been in the lead or really been in a spot to be lad right now? Russell Ottaway getting around the number 60, John Hickman Jr. Hickman didn't quite have the momentum to kind of keep up there with him and stay on his brigade. Slowing him out just a little bit. Charles Van Schaik right now currently trying to save fuel as best he can. You can actually hear him clutching the entire car in. Now what he's trying to do is, again, he's trying to keep the fuel lines and the fuel cells from going too far into that engine to where the engine actually uses it and starts to actually break it down. Without that fuel, you don't got a car to drive. You know, it's kind of funny too. We saw Michael Strickland earlier on kind of striking down these guys, really putting up a great performance out of the gate, but now slowed off in the pace, slowed off into the distance. Not quite what we've come to expect. Race fans, if this is your first time ever joining us here on Pizza Race TV, first off, we thank and appreciate you so much for coming on board. If you guys do like the content, you like the show, be sure to like and follow us up here on Facebook. Head to our YouTube, subscribe there for all the action and content we bring here to them. They also have live action there. You'll not get on Facebook till later on, so be sure to subscribe there for more great content. By Tuesday night, we'll have the Pushing Limit Racing League, as well as next Friday night, we'll have Misfits iRacing League returning on the show. This time it will be for sure. We apologize for any inconvenience that maybe anyone had seen or wanted to watch. We were told they were actually on an off week that week, so we actually had to reschedule and rebook them in. Can't blame them though. Of course it was Thanksgiving time. But enough about Thanksgiving dinners, Thanksgiving stuffing, because right now the only thing that these drivers are thinking about is working off all that stuffing with some great racing and some hard action on the track. Keith Prince in the number 3 Chevrolet Camaro right now has made some great strides. Push his car up forward and try to push it fast as he can. Made up a lot of great positioning, great power there. Take a look at our lap times as well here. I'm going to be interested to see this because right now Dudley, I don't know where this speed came from or where this kind of went around, but he's got a huge lead on Christoph Hall, who's in second place right now. But again, is that necessarily going to be a good thing considering he needs to make sure he saves up on the fuel mileage? Christoph Hall seems to be focusing on that too. And something I've kind of noticed too, and maybe this is just me, but this entire day we haven't really seen a line be favored more than the other. The bottom line, I thought, would have been more just for kind of giving the guys a little bit more of a cleaner runoff, but the outside line would be where they move and migrate it up to, but no. No, actually they have stuck to the bottom when they feel it is necessary. Cameron Dew is in pit road right now, race fans, and that does not spell good news for him. Needs to focus up and hurry quickly before it's too little too late. He's in a hot bind here right now with the guy that's trying to knock him off that spot, trying to take him down, that being Christoph Hall or Nathan Bogart. So the two guys there, they've made some impressive strides, made some great drive backs. Dakota Ehrman still a shocker to me. I really did not think 8-lap tires were going to actually hold up as well as they did. But you know what? Like I said, I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my honor. I know when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Ehrman must have known something I didn't. Speaking of knowing something we don't know, Ricky Utting in the number 2. He seems to be figuring out a way to get a maneuver around these guys as he goes along. He's 3 spots down. He qualified 7th today. And the Pepsi Cola number 2 seemingly just kind of left out of the distance and out of the way here. Remember, he unfortunately was not able to contend in the playoffs, so really his only strategy at this point was just to kind of give himself any kind of positioning or anything he could on the full season and regular season, coming to a complete swift end as then we began the playoff drives. Joey Sturgill going to park it down into pit road. Nathan Bogart, Mark Road again right now. Currently now moving top 5 brackets up with about 9 to 10 laps remaining. Signature Esports saying, get it, Skull Key Esports. Signature, good to have you on board today. How about this too right now for positions wise? Dudley started back in 10th. He's in first. Christoph Hall, he started in 16th. He's second. 14th was Mark Rodigan. He's 11 spots up. And then 16 spots up. Yeah, he started 20th. That's Nathan Bogart. That's your top 5 right now. Tyler Dalton, the only one out of the bunch that started in a much higher position that's actually lower than where he really, in his mind, should be, which is he started in 2nd place, currently in 5th right now. Even then, I'd still say being in 5th place in a field stacked as this, I'd be happy with that. Average I rating in this one calculated up is well over the 3,000 marker. It's not over 9,000 there, Vegeta. It's only over 3,000. Big Tricks, number 60 right now, staying ahead of Keith Prince here in the number 3 machine. Rest of your field kind of separating out by a little bit. Russell Ottaway, Michael Strickland, they've all separated further out. Bud Shearer right now looking to try to gain laps back, trying to gain positions back here. Strickland is going to go the full distance here. He's looking to try to kind of last this one out. Robert Dudley looking maybe to do the same. I like the strategy that Dudley kind of cooked up, just really muscling the field out, but all that's kind of meaningless if you're not literally saving your fuel up. You can actually hear the engine go silent. He is saving the fuel, but it is just not, it's not all the way there. Dalton back onto the bottom lane now will move the chains ahead of the number 5, Nathan Bogart. As the 19.7500 machine is currently trying to hopefully last out a little bit longer than everybody else to take home the stage points. He's looking to play spoiler here. Harley Dudley say looks as though Dudley finally learned the difference between the gas pedal and the gas pedal. Well, I didn't know there was a difference, but that's all right. I think at the end of the day, a good gas pedal will do you some good. Christoph Hall, Michael Caffrey, John Hickman Jr., Aaron Jackson, and Charles Van Schaik are all in pit road. Ryan D. Cook will stay on out. They'll move the chains into the top 10. See if we can see what Shaik's going to do here. He's going to take 4 tires. Yes, he is. He's going to take 2 on the right, all 4 on the left with fuel added in. Action Jackson's going to come out of pit road. Looks like he only took fuel out of that pit stop. Yes, he did. Only fuel for the number 12, Aaron Jackson. Looks like he's trying to looking at the overall picture and thinking he's not going to have enough time to kind of stay ahead of these two guys. Close off the gap, 3 wide out. Gravola. Gravola managing to move the switch and move the chains in position. Got a good jump off. Nathan Bogart will stay out on top. You have a new leader. And everybody that thought they had got this race all figured out, well, they're just now coming out of pit road. We're coming on the final 2-3 laps remaining here. Bogart's going to try to stretch this out. Remember, stage points crucial for the 5 cam. If he can finish this out, he's got a chance. He's hoping and praying right now. The gap is about 13 seconds ahead of Keith Prince. Prince is starting to move the chains a little bit more. Bogart's really got to be on his last leg of fuel. That thing is not full of a keg. That thing is full of a pint of fuel, I tell you. Here goes Bud Shearer. He's going to get his lap back, at least for now. Same from Maurice Burnett. That's crucial, too, because when that caution comes out, that now gives him a chance here. Bogart saved up a lot, and I think he strategized above all else. Closing down the gap. Dudley is trying to get to him. He moves back in a second. He's coming up quick. Strickland trying to get it right on there as well. You can see they are all hunting down the 5. Bogart just needs to hold out. Remember, he still has to go to pit road too. When that stage caution comes out, off of turn number 3, down to turn number 4. Bogart, is he gonna? No, he's not. Can he? Oh, I don't know if he can make it. Yeah, he's gonna make it to the finish line, but I don't know if he's gonna make it to pit road from the stage. Caution will be flown for the stage break, but oh boy. Nathan Bogart not only pushed his luck, but he sure pushed himself a little bit more than one way than another. You saw him slow that thing down coming off of turn 4. He knew he was in trouble on fuel, but he had to at least stretch it to get the stage win. Major stage points just received for that one. And now what that does is for Bogarts, now he forces Cameron DeRue to have to match. He's got to get a win here in terms of position over Bogart or the overall win itself. DeRue finished 9th in that stage, so he's got a lot of figuring out to do. Rick Holland saying, go Bogart, go. Well, I think he'll be going all right. He's going to pit road, and he is looking like maybe he will end up in towards the final rounds. Final stage is coming your way. And boy, howdy, what a start really to this day here. Remember, we're gonna have about 60 laps to the distance. Some surprising returners in Dudleyville coming up to the front. Christoph Hall making a great drive there. Getting some serious help and some serious works there. If you can figure out how to get that fuel mileage down and get the speed kind of clipped up with it, you might just have a chance. Pit stops a many and pit stops a plenty. This time Strickland actually beats out Dalton, and Bud Shearer is going to move the field in now, and he's got himself a chance. And he needs it too. Bud Shearer needs all the positions he can get right now in terms of staying on the priority list for the playoffs. He's got a long, long road ahead of him if he wants to win it out. Christoph Hall staying out as long as he can right now. He's trying to get some lead laps in and maybe some chances here. So Michael Caffrey going to stay out a little longer, it looks like. I don't know if he'll be able to continue on with what he's got, but it looks like he's going to try to do it anyway. Caffrey had last gone into pit road on lap number 65, so that was right at the time we saw everyone else go in. I mean, yeah, Dave, he's going to try to play a really bold strategy. I mean, it can work. We have seen it done so far. Double filed back in. We are ready to go back to racing, race fans. Gonna reel him off down off of turn number 4 this time on by. On the front stretch, back to the green we go. Neil Armstrong now on the call here with us. Thanks. Nice to have you on board with us, Neil. And yeah, I know there was a little too much silence there, but kind of had to catch my voice there. Yeah, asking about the 39 down there, whether or not Kevin England had retired. Well, he hasn't retired yet. He's still kind of racing. He's trying to get something figured out down there, but currently I think that's what everyone else is doing as well, as we got one riding up top side, 3 wide off, but sure. Having some fun up there, and he certainly was. Going hard drive, hard run. Up ahead there with Cody Sturgill here as he's trying to get his maximum amount of positions to increase his chances to increase and start to the next round. Neil, you'll have to talk to Go Racing League about that one, buddy. That's on them, not us. Coming around, oh, Cameron DeRue nearly clipping Butcher completely out into the shadow realm. Got around that one though. Sure able to stay out of trouble as the whole field pretty much moves the chains around him. There are 3-4 deep back in there. Oh my. You know, I really wasn't sure about this race going in. The only thing I wasn't really sure about was how well these guys could use these next gens on a track out like this and really make some speeds up like this, but this race has completely figured everything out. Very cool to hear there, Neil. Can't say I've all my broadcasting work has been strictly with PTM Racing TV all my career, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely love it here. And I love also seeing you fans out there too, man. It really warms my heart seeing you guys comment away and have a little fun in the chat. Definitely appreciate it. Joe Garval, I know you were watching your boy earlier on. Joseph Garval, well, he's still got some work to do, but thankfully he's getting around a few of them. But sure, still struggling to get in and out of trouble. Joe Gattina right now joins us in the comments section while also having a little fun with Neil down there at his expense. The Dudleyville camp and the Stryker camp, they're going to have two opposite zones meeting together. The worlds will collide as Strickland is looking for the race lead. Dudley looking to try to return to victory lane after quite a stint and a layoff, if you will, not being with us. But right now, he's going to have his hands full and a little bit of workaround to deal with. The Stryker goes back on the attack, and Strickland's no stranger to winning here. Going to pace their way around. Chad Coleman, the 35. Pennzoil AutoZone machine having a little bit of fun down there as Calf race to expense. Jack Coleman, a guy we have not talked about all day long, but really he's been kind of a sneaky little hunter here. He's gone 23 spots up. He started 26th. He's in 3rd. Cleverly just kind of disguising himself in the back of the pack and not letting anyone see him and going unnoticed. But now he knows that the time to do that is well beyond his limit. He needs to start focusing quick and focusing hard. And right about now, this is also where I was kind of expecting where this race was going to be going in the first place, which was more towards the single file grooves and more of a single file line off. Let the drivers kind of figure it out from there. But no, early on and really still now, they really just kind of packed these things in deep and really made them stick. But Share right now getting extremely dangerously close in the back of the pack here. This is not what the 93 wants, but I think that Canada 93 has slammed the wall too many times. I think the right front might have a slight little tink in there, and that in turn is causing a bit of a hit into the tire itself. The last thing you want to do is have a parachute on your car, let alone have a tire being rubbed up against by your own fenders or by your own pieces of equipment. But that might be exactly what we're seeing right now. It might be exactly what they're doing and struggling through right to get through at the moment. 198 target machine of Christoph Hall currently staying towards the bottom lane while Ricky Utting in the number 2. Pepsi Cola working his magic on that top half there. Hall is in desperation time. He needs this win. He needs every position. He's 14 spots. He's 14 points, I should say, on the totem pole. You don't want to have 14 points lost here and not be able to come back somehow. A win would help, but I don't know if it would be enough. Neil Armstrong asking, is that Chad Coleman at 35? Well, I'll let you be the judge. Coleman right now trying to get a little more run on Tyler Dalton and Michael Strickland. Both guys back where they started in qualifying position. Dalton was second. Strickland was first. Tyler Dalton, man, he is not letting that 7519 camp not let anything go to waste, trying to get that 88 of Strickland as quick as he can. No problem down there, Neil. Back on board with the Mountain Dew Nationwide Camp 88 of Strickland is currently. It looks more and more like Dalton is going to have his way. But every time you feel like it's about to happen, it doesn't. Instead, Strickland deals out the blow and deals out the speed. Looks like he's gonna try to move him on the inside. Here we go, going for the corner. Here comes the launch. The launch, the grip. Can he get it to stick? He's gonna get off turn 4. Yes, he can. The 19 will stick it down the bottom, and he takes over the lead from Strickland. Been kind of a runaway little spot there. Everybody just looking solid as can be. We're looking at the fuel mileage too. Remember, these guys went about a full 35. They went for a full 30 laps or so on 35 actually. So in my opinion, you'll see a lot of guys really trying to dictate when they go into pit road. I think the better ones are going to be trying to save up a little bit more fuel and then start to kind of kick it home as quick as they can. You won't see too many positions up on these guys. I think you'll see a lot more grip and a little more handful on the rest. Christoph Hall and Joseph Gravala right now. A little bit of a tussle there as Hall gets a little bit loose off of turn number 2. Opened the door wide there, but Gravala was not able to capitalize. You saw Gravala looking in, but he could not get through the window of opportunity. You can't let those go that easily, and you can't let those go that quickly. You've got to stay focused on your spots and your chances. Ricky Utting right now currently moving up ahead as the number 98 of Christoph Hall in the bottom lane of Ricky Utting here. Looking like it could be a bit of a drowned out fight, bit of a battle back with 45 laps remaining. Road again. Oh, hold on down there. That's not where you want to be, sir. Gravala, double trouble. 2 for the price of 1. Oh, hold on. Sturgill gets clipped by Rodigan. Rodigan saves it though off of turn number 4. Wow, that right there is a whole host of just everything happening at one time and just literally right in front of you. Sturgill gets clipped by Rodigan. Rodigan goes for the slide job and then instead almost gets a screw job at the 24. Thankfully, Sturgill with the presence of mind held on. Charles Van Schaik, you see that rear end, it slightly deficiates out. He's trying to hold that on line too, trying to keep it stable. Everybody right now, in my opinion, looking like they are looking closer and closer to the brink of no return, the way they're driving. Turtle and Shike right now. They need to stay out of the way. Oh, one in the wall down there. And I think that might be the number 4. I can't get a number on that one. Looks like was that Philip Schmitz? No, that wasn't Philip Schmitz. That was Burkhart. I believe that is the 83 of Burkhart. Did we get a number on that one, guys? Yeah, that is. That's Brandon Burkhart. And the fast lane 83, despite doing a great job earlier on, seems to have completely fallen apart here in the final stage. Neil Armstrong saying that's a 100-pants changer there. Alright, I'll give you credit. That one made me laugh. I don't think that would be just an underpants changer. I think you might have to go underneath there and check for any extra fluids down there. They're starting to slow off a little bit in terms of the craziness and the scope that they had a little bit, and maybe they're trying to figure out how to push their limit and how to kind of push themselves to the point of the brink. With 29 drivers that came out today, we have only lost one so far. Kevin England, the 39, has unfortunately retired the car. He said that there was unfortunately no way to get that engine repaired and no way to get those tires clipped back the way we wanted. We're done for the day, boys. What a tough break for the 39. Looked like he was going to come out here and try to make a bit of a statement. Maybe make things just a little bit harder on these guys, but we do appreciate them always coming on board, as well as everybody that tunes in. Well, the good news is for Charles Van Schaik, he really doesn't have to worry about battling too much with the 98 across the hall. He really just needs to stay out of trouble, like we talked about earlier. Focus on himself and only focus on just staying away from anyone that may be causing him an issue. Didn't let this race kind of slip him by, though. He still needs to at least stay in the top 15 at best, or at worst. At best, maybe the top 20, just keep kind of working from there. Dakota Ehrman there in stage number 2, in my opinion, was probably the most impressive of the drivers for that time. He actually let out a good chunk of the laps till old Dudleyville came up and took that from him. Now, and this one seems to be on full damage control mode for saving fuel and saving tire. And we've seen it before where really you can take that strategy, you can work with it. You could go in where you just only take the fuel and forget about the tires till you really need them. But in my opinion, if you don't take right sides on this next pit stop, at least for all these guys, I think their race may be in trouble and it may be done and over with quicker than they know it. Russell Ottaway in the 89 Toyota Camry, he's had his hands full all day long, 7 spots up, but you can just see why I say that. He's almost brushing with the wall. He's dancing with the devil up there. We're down to the final 35 laps here now, folks. Hey, look at this now, moving their way back to the change. Ricky Udding in the number 2 moves back into the spot he qualified in, started 7th today. Joe Carvalho. Hey, anytime these cars come up closer to one another, I just hold my breath and hope for the best. They get so close to one another, it just almost becomes kind of just an interesting little train wreck there. You just never know what's going to happen. Are they going to get into it, or are they going to be actually hold their line down? Dudley loose off of turn number 4. He's going to lose more positions up. Grabala moves into the 7th spot. John Hickman Jr. in the 60, currently in the 8th spot. He moves from 13 spots from where he qualified, which was 21st today. We're on board here with the 60 again. But you can see that slight little damage too on the front of the nose of that car. Despite that, it hasn't really affected him all that much. Matter of fact, if anything, it's actually just kind of been more of a nuisance than anything else, and he hasn't really had to worry about the rest. Time running out right now. Cameron DeRue in that 18 camp. Probably not too thrilled. Bogart got a stage point over him, which immediately bumped him ahead of him. And I think actually it may have actually bumped down Burkhart and Bud Shearer a little bit too. The way I'm looking at the points, Cody Sturgis even too is now in a little bit of a troublesome spot because of what he was able to do. The good news is though for DeRue, maybe the bad news for Bogart is right now Bogart is struggling to kind of hang in with that other brackets. He's currently in the 15th spot. If I had to guess, I think he's probably trying to save his fuel lines again, but considering the fact that everybody has to go into pit road and then has to drive off for a time, I think honestly that may be a difference maker. He's not going to get the same privilege he got earlier. Christoph Hall's in pit road right now. Richard Crane, Dakota Kramer, they all went in. Philip Schmitz is down and out, it looks like. Brandon Burkhart, same for him. I think that was just due to unfortunately hitting the damage model there a little bit too much. The striker, Michael Strickland, really doesn't even need to win this race. He's just out here having a little fun while also trying to gain as much stage points as he can for the next rounds. That actually does make a difference, I can tell you. That will be added on to his tally total, and that will help him get a chance at it. So Cameron DeRue's in there, Dakota Ehrman. Just a Gravala, Cody Sturgill. Remember, Gravala is having some mechanical problems down there as much as he's having glitch graphic gremlin issues there. The 7 as well there, Jeff Ramsdell. He's stuck in pit road. Bud Shearer now goes in. You can see the 60 as well coming out. Everybody hot on the trail. Tyler Dalton will go into pit road as well. So looks like everybody is pretty much gone now in towards pit roads, and Mark Rodigan stays out. You're your new leader. Actually, I take that back. He's not the leader yet. Russell Ottaway is the leader for the brief moment anyway. And Rodigan actually going to go into pit road before Ottaway, so Ottaway trying to hurry out. Tyler Dalton already one step ahead of everybody, looks like. So now as our timer finally gets cleared back up to normal, Dalton has got a full run. Sean Burke, 95 though. Man, he is playing a very, very interesting strategy. He's going for winner's circle here, and he is trying to catch Dalton. I forgot all about him. He's the guy that's really in the bottom of the bracket. He's early 12th right now, and he's currently in a must-win scenario. Very, very interesting strategy here on Sean Burke's end. Almost kind of coming out of nowhere, but the thing is, he hasn't been in pit road since lap 95. I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but unless he can catch a break from one of the guys making a mistake down there, he's not going to have much room to work with. And he's already now currently dealing with some pressure there. Michael Caffrey. And the 77 going to move his way up ahead. Chad Coleman going to join him. Continuing to move the chains right now. Remember, he won stage number 1. He's looking to take home stage 3, the final stage, and the points to go with it, forcing everybody to have to work off from this. Coming right off the edge here. Ask you shall receive as well here. What do you read the comments here, Joe? He asked for an inside look with our boy Joseph Carvalho. That's what he's going to get right now as you take a look at him working the field in and working the distance out. He's got all this land in front of him, but the problem is he's got all this behind him. And he's currently trying to keep everybody behind him on that level net brigade too. Now remember, Joseph, though, he doesn't need to really win either. He's actually in a very comfortable spot as well. He's second place right now in the points, and I mentioned at the top of the show, all he really needs to do is just go out here and perform. Go out here, perform, grab stage points if he must, or grab if he can or if he wants, but doesn't need to win. Everybody else, though, that I mentioned that I've been talking constantly about, yeah, let's just say they probably would be better off with the win if they can. Nathan Bogart definitely made it a lot more difficult, though, on guys like Cameron DeRue, Bud Shearer, and them. The fact that he was able to pull off that stage win. As Carvalho right now currently has some good traffic gremlins on the attack there for his end. Charles Van Schaik here, not too far off from the cutoff line, but definitely could use for a little runner, a little bit of a push here, just kind of stay out of trouble. Goes it down low on the 7, Jeff Ramsdell. By the way, Ramsdell lap down. Remember the guy he's going on 1 though with Dakota Ehrman. He's not a lap down. Ron Holyfield in 26 right now, staying up ahead of Cameron DeRue. DeRue right at this moment trying to stay focused in on the tracks, trying to stay focused up on where he's at. Holyfield knows he's not got a horse in this race. Cameron DeRue, though, he certainly does. DeRue desperately trying to get further and further ahead of Nathan Bogart and the rest of them guys in order just to have a chance of survival here. It almost seems like every time he's getting a run up on that top side there, he's not getting the right front to kind of kick into the ground or get as much speed off as he wants. Again, using that right front, that right rear, you want to try to make sure they slide into the corner and drive off as quick as they can. Looks like he might try a little bit of a different strategy here as the 26 goes low. The 18 stays high. Kind of caved him off there on the bottom. Got his draft off. Looks like that's what he's hoping for. And now he's looking for the pass on the outside. But again, Holyfield staying in the speed and the condition. But Caffrey slowing him up a little too. That will open the door up. There goes DeRue. Now will Caffrey be the next one up? Oh, the Australian says, no way, mate. It's not happening here, sir. He just goes straight to the bottom, and the Pennzoil 77 just completely blocking him out. But DeRue is almost as determined as a madman needs to be to get his way. He sends it straight down around the 77. He had nowhere to go. "15 laps remain. Tyler Dalton, by the way, your leader by about 5 seconds ahead of Chad Coleman. Coleman looking to be the unprecedented hard charger of the day with 24 spots up. The 60 right there, John Hickman Jr. currently just trying to stay ahead of trouble and trying to stay ahead of problems as Charles Van Schaik tries to keep it going. Signature Esports saying, let's go, GOAT. Presuming they're talking about the Go Racing League itself, and yeah, they've made an impressive shot flash here, in my opinion, today with this race. Putting up performance after performance after performance, and for a Homestead Miami Speedway race, we've seen some exciting ones here, but I think I might have to rank this one up there. This one's been from top to bottom. It's been fun. It's been great. It's been chaotic. We've seen we had a few spills and some thrills. But other than that, we saw a lot of strategy and a lot of good use of it. While at the same time, not diverting off from what we'd love to see, which is close, hard, cornered, side-by-side racing. Oh, Signature is saying Charles is GOAT. Okay, thanks for the confirmation. He's talking about the 11 of Charles Van Schaik, by the 11th position of the 23 Charles Van Schaik, by the way, folks. Christoph Hall, at this point, I think maybe just looking on and knowing their playoff championship season may just be coming to an end. And unfortunately, unprecedentedly for him, I don't think that's exactly what he was exactly expecting or really wanting to know. But unless something big happens or something changes, it's going to be very difficult to kind of work around this. "11 laps left. Tyler Dalton swings to the inside there on the number 89 of Ottaway. Dalton is just making it that much more difficult for everybody here. Christoph slightly loose, very tight off. He tightened up the car and bolted it down a little bit more to the track, got it to stabilize, but unfortunately for that, you must lose your position on the lead lap counter, sir. Dalton moves the chains, now even ahead of Ryan D. Cook even further. Cook was already a lap down. He's going to be even another lap down. That's not what he wants to see. Aaron Axon Jackson here, yet again, another guy that really, I said point blank at the start of the show, didn't need the stage points, didn't need a win. He just needed to stay out of trouble. Stage points would help benefit him for the next round. As I mentioned too, for Strickland, that's why these guys are running as hard as they are, but a lot of them also too are probably just trying to play it safe while at the same time just kind of racing their hearts out. Those that are in desperation attempts and desperation mode have nothing left to do and everything to gain here if they absolutely have to. Gravala back down on the bottom here. Joseph making an extremely impressive comeback here and may just get himself some top 5 extra bonus. In terms of position, in terms of scope, he's done an impressive job. Ricky Utting in the number 2, trying to hang in there. Robert Dudley DeVille. Dudley is also making a bit of a comeback, turnaround, fight off. Looking to see, maybe looking to sneak his way around some of these guys. Hear him in right now, going back down low. They're going to corner it out, almost 3 wide into the distance. Down to the final 5 laps. Top 5 now going to be on your screen. Coleman 5.8 seconds back at Dalton. Really, my opinion, unless he's able to just start muscling this car around, he does not have very much room. A little bit of a clip up though. Shearer almost taking D. Cook out with him. That would have been a very, very, very bad spot if you wanted to be stuck in there. Dalton trying to hold on as long as he can. Kramer has got problems. The 42 comes to a deadlock stop. No caution yet. If he could get it out of the way, we're going to continue this one out. It looks like that'll be the case. Dalton now, this time around. We're going to bring him down with 2 laps left to go. Green flag high in the air for the number 19. Meanwhile, up ahead right now, Hollyfield currently dealing with some lap traffic there in the form of Keith Prince trying to keep him back behind the field. While the rest of the field currently deals with the strategy and the struggle. Kramer again with more problems down there. Does get it stopped on the back straightaway and out of the way of harm's way. No caution yet. They're still going to go for the final laps this time around. We're finishing this one under the green. White flag in the air. Tyler Dalton. 1 more to go. And strategy outweighing over the others. He got taken down by Dakota. Got taken down by Dakota Ehrman in terms of stage 2 start. Lost out completely though to Robert Dudley on the latter half of it. But this time, off of corner number 3, down into turn number 4. Bogart had 1. Well, Tyler Dalton, he gets 2 for his troubles. Tyler Dalton is going to win here at Homestead. Long, hard road and a long drought to follow, but Tyler Dalton's going to take this one out to the end here. Gave it everything he had and gave it all he needed to just to win it out. Strategy paying off above all else while still having to deal with the traffic in the back sometimes. And in terms of position and finaling order, well, I don't know how to really go about the question of how many we've got in terms of the position, but it'll be interesting to see what we got there. Well, he has been alerted. He's done it, completed, and he's going to finally get his chance to do the burnouts. There it is. While he celebrates down to victory lane, we'll take a look at our finishers today. Dalton wins it out. Hard charging. Chad Coleman goes 24 up today. Takes home second. Michael the Striker again. Strickland goes third. Ron Holyfield getting 4th, 5th to Cameron DeRue. Whether or not that's going to be enough to take down Nathan Bogart to finish 16th, that remains unknown. We'll have to let you guys know as soon as we can later on. Joseph Gravala going to go 6th, 7th to Dakota Ehrman, 8th to Ricky Utting, 9th to John Hickman Jr., and 10th rounds out with Robert Dudley. An impressive final end and climactic sequence for everybody involved. But only those were able to stay on top were the ones that were able to finish this race out. Kevin Engling finishing dead last on our end here, so that will be how we kind of set that off here. It's time to take a listen to our top 3 finishers now here in just a moment. Stay tuned for this one, folks. I think these guys might have a few things to say because this could get interesting. But nevertheless, let's take a listen in now to the guy that comes home in the 3rd spot. Michael the Striker Strickland joins us now here, race fans here. And Michael, congratulations on a 3rd place finish. As you came out of that car, you kind of just looked at me and said, another day in paradise, as you're going to go home away with some more points to head on into the next round.
How's it going?
Pretty good, my friend. What about you?
Pretty good. It was another good race, good points race. That's what we were shooting for. Just get some good finishes in the stages and finish up front, move on to the next round. And we were lucky enough to do that today. So it was a good race overall.
It was indeed. Now, I'll ask you too, as you're getting ready for the big fight and the big battle coming up here in the next round of 8, what's going to be kind of going through your mind to try to even just try to survive through that to get to that championship round of 4?
It's gonna take a combination of luck and skill and timing and just being at the right place at the right time and hope you can avoid the accidents and the misses. Um, as the field gets cut down to 8, it's definitely going to get harder to advance down to the last 4. But we're just going to keep our fingers crossed and the pedal to the metal, and hopefully we get there.
For sure there. Well, as you come away to the end, though, anybody want to thank her tonight for this one, Strickland?
Yes, sir. We want to thank yourself for the great broadcast, all the league admins at the GOAT League. It was a lot of fun, very good racing today. And Ricky, my mom, my sister, um, Mia, and little baby boy over there. Everybody's probably watching. So I spent Thanksgiving with them and drove a couple hours to get to this race. So hopefully they're happy with the finish and the shout out.
I'd say they are in this case, and I don't think a shout out hurts too much. Strickland, congratulations on a 3rd place finish, sir.
Thank you, sir. You enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too, sir. Michael Strickland, ladies and gentlemen, having a little extra Thanksgiving feast down there for second moves to the next round. This guy, though, he had a feast waking it up to the front here today. 24 spots up, Chad Coleman. Talk about having to literally muscle through this field, sir. Coming away second and hard charging 24 out. How crazy was that one for you, buddy?
It was definitely interesting. I messed around and I didn't get home until it was probably already 8 o'clock. By the time I got in the server, it was they were qualifying. I didn't have time to qualify. I just had time to calibrate the wheel and the pedals and jump in. So we're figuring it out on the go. And I think I had my brake bias too low and I was killing the rear tires late in the run. But it was fun driving up through the field. We didn't take tires on the first stage caution to save a set, and to stay out of these guys' way and not start back up front because I didn't know who I was racing for points. I chose to start in the back. I probably should have just stayed where I was at, and
Yeah.
I'd have probably learned a little more. But it's all right. It was a fun race.
I mean, I'd say for the most part, you kind of learned a lot of what you needed to when you needed to there. But I'll ask you this as well here. I mean, if you could have been able to get around to qualifying, actually try to put up a number, do you think maybe that might have helped actually have a chance to take down possibly Dalton, you said?
Yeah, I mean, if I'd have had if I'd have got home in time and have a couple of minutes of practice, I would have known what to do with my brakes and stuff, and it threw me off, and then I wasn't sure what the car was going to fire back off, how the car was going to fire back off on old tires. So I decided to start in the back, and then that gap was big, and then I tried to make up positions fast through the middle of the racetrack on that restart after 70, and I burned the rear tires up a little bit right there, and he got away because it just got worse and worse. And then when we pitted, and I came out behind a bunch of guys that he came out in front of, and the gap just grew right there. So at the end, I was just riding, waiting to see what would happen. I had guys spinning and wrecking in front of me, but no luck on the caution. So we just rode, came home second.
Hey, riding coming home second is better than coming home in the back of the packs, but nevertheless, you make your way from that pack to the second spot. Who do you want to thank you for that one, sir?
I got to thank Charles and everybody over here with this league. Our racing season ended, so there was nothing to do on Saturday nights, and through them getting together with the Sim 500 league that I'm a part of, they asked if we wanted to come over here and race some with them, so we did. And I mean that's one reason why I decided to start in the back right there with the older tires and not really knowing exactly how the car would fire off, because I didn't want to start up there in front of the new tires and be an old tire roadblock. So we decided to just start in the back and ease our way through.
Well, that is certainly one way to put it, but nevertheless, Chad, as you come away second today, man, congratulations on that, and we hope to see you next time out here sometime, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, your second place finisher today, Chad Coleman, going to come away today as your second spot. The hard charging man going to take it home, but the guy that brings it to victory lane, well, his name happens to be Tyler Dalton as he brings the 19 in for this one today. Tyler, congratulations on a race win here today, buddy. And really, other than stage 2 with the fuel mileage and then everything else kind of getting separated out, you pretty much had a good lock on how to really take care of Homestead. How'd you do it, sir?
Just this is a pretty good track for me. I actually missed the last chance I had to race here with the flu, so I was looking forward to this race tonight. And came in, I was just looking at the number of tires that we had and how many laps we had. So I didn't take tires on the first stage break. So we stayed out there on old tires and fell back a little bit. Wanted to make sure I had 2 sets available for the last stage if needed. Luckily, we didn't need it, and it stayed green. And I just tried to run my line, tried to save some tires and not really abuse the tires. I think maybe beginning of that second or the last stage, Michael might have abused his tires a little bit there. And we pulled away pretty good, and we knew we had to stop there with about 30-ish laps to go. And that pit stop was a little bit more exciting than I planned on. The pit road entry was a little bit more exciting than I planned on it being, but ended up actually gaining us some time, so that worked out. And then I saw I had about 5 seconds with Chad, so just honestly just taking it easy the last little bit, and we were able to pull away.
Able to pull away, really start to take control of the race and really perform at the level that we know you can kind of get to. Dalton, I'll ask you this though. I mean, the way the tires and the track itself and the fuel that kind of consumed on these guys, do you think really staying up in that front half for most of the day really kind of helped save you from all the trouble and all the hassle of having to work through the 3 wide and two wide packs that came by a lot?
Yeah, I had a teammate, John Hickman, back there. He said it was a little bit wild back there. But then again, Chad came from the back and I was able to get up there to second. And he was right there with us until we pulled away there at the second stage. But I mean, you could do it either way. But definitely, you were in more danger back there. But I just want to say that this is only my second start here in the league, and these guys are really good about giving you a lot of room. Really clean racing from everything that I saw up front. So I really do appreciate these guys for having me.
For sure there. Well, Dalton, anything else you want to say to the fans or thank anybody else at home before you tune off for the night?
Yeah, I just want to thank all my Stem 500 Mafia teammates. We had it was me, Kevin England, Higman, and Ron Hollifield. I want to congratulate Ron for a very good fourth place finish. I think another lap maybe he'd have had Michael for third. I want to give a shout out to my South Carolina Gamecocks. I had a special decal on the car tonight, special paint scheme. We finally broke through and beat Clemson today, so finally don't get to hear about that from my relatives for another year at least. So, But I had fun tonight. Hopefully we can do it again next week.
We hope so too. Well, nevertheless, Dalton, appreciate coming on board. Congratulations on this race win today, sir.
Thank you.
Tyler Dalton, ladies and gentlemen, going to walk away with a W here and bring it home to victory lane to cap off the night tonight. Race fans, we appreciate you guys coming on board and tuning in with us. We sure hope you join us back here on Tuesday night, as we'll be live on YouTube for Pushing Limits Racing League, and then back here on Facebook, GOAT Racing League Truck Series. Still have around 12 to complete out. We'll see what happens then. But for now, we appreciate tuning in. See you next time.